Something I find and have experienced is my inspiration can go in peaks and troughs. And there have been periods of my life where I haven't been in work and I haven't been working, not because I couldn't get a job, but because I was in a space where I was like, right, I'm going to devote this time to creating.
Mm,
And sometimes doing that, my creativity is at its most stagnant point. For me, I feel like I have to be living a life and I have to be working, I have to be
mm,
experiencing things, I have to
mm,
be going out and seeing
mhm.
people. I can't easily just lock
No.
myself in and just churn stuff out. I think you have to have something to draw experience from. What is your feeling about the balance of, work life music? How
Mm.
does that work? Work life creativity. Where is that balance?
Oh, wow. Well, I think you're so right, and I agree totally in terms of if you try and force something or you put time aside for something like music, it doesn't come naturally. It's like if you're looking for something, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be music. If you're looking for something, it's unlikely that it will come straight away, or it might not at all. But if you're kind of going
Girls.
about your day, that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Absolutely.
can be
Well, that's
looking.
it.
Yeah, I swear, my experiences mostly with relationships have been like, when I'm looking for something, nothing comes, and
That
then you
yeah,
stop looking, and then it's just like, oh, cool, and then you're there.
it falls into place exactly. And music is the same for me anyway. Like I could, have at the same time. Sometimes I could have a million things to say, or all sorts of emotion that could go into writing a track, for example. And it's like that white canvas fear, blank canvas fear. Sorry. Um, as an artist, putting that first bit of paint on can be terrifying. And if you got so much to kind of convey in a song, you don't know how to quite put it into words or into something creative like that. So sometimes, I mean, the past 2 years, um, uh, there's been periods where I haven't felt very creative, and maybe that's me just kind of pushing emotion to the side and being like, do you know what? Like, I actually need to be in a different place to be able to feel this emotion in the right way in music. But I think the most important thing is to feel comfortable. Like, if you're comfortable in yourself, in your work, you kind of work situation, work life balance. That's when the creativity for me comes. Yeah, most simply, and in the easiest way. So yeah, making sure that you got obviously money coming in, you kind of your relationship's all good.
Money helps to support the production of things as
It
well, and
does,
like
yeah.
push and promotion of things. So it is important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think your social life is good. I think it's it needs to be, for me, a nice balance, and then the creativity comes.
Mm.
And yeah, that's what I've come to understand is the best way that I
Yeah, it's taken me a while
work.
as well.
Yeah, it
It
does.
takes you a while to get there. Like, as I said, I mean, periods through COVID where I was locked in and I probably could have been working somewhere, but I was like, no, I'm going to record.
Mm,
And sometimes you do push stuff out and you do get bits of influence, but it never feels like the natural flow of things.
mm,
The easiest songs that have come to me come when I'm in the flow of life and I'm
mhm.
living and I'm doing and I'm
Yeah.
seeing people, I'm working. I might even be working 60 hours a week, but
Mm,
I'll get this idea on the way home and it'll just like whole song will flood out.
mm.
But then there'll be 2 weeks where I'm off and I'm not doing anything. And
Yeah.
there's just the cogs aren't turning, the juices aren't flowing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's funny that like kind of work life balance as well, because sometimes I don't know about you, but that's if I work 60 hours or whatever, and I try I try and do something creative, that's a no go for me. That's a massive, I'm just like, no,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not even gonna try. It's not gonna be, nothing productive is gonna come out of it. So I think it's, if I work too much, like for example, surf instructing, that's what I've done for the past seasons, since 2015 or whatever. So, or most summer seasons, and surf instructing every day, where you're in the water, 7 hours a day, pretty much. You're lifting and shifting boards, kids, dealing, hosting lessons, this, that, and the other. You come home and you're like windswept, your face is peeling, you're just exhausted.
Yeah.
So I think, and then, sometimes obviously I'd finish and then I'd have a 2-hour gig to go to and I'd play. And, if I do that, 1 or 2 gigs a week, plus that, 35 to 40 hours surf instructing, like it really takes it out of you.
Yeah.
And
battery on
the battery,
0%.
yeah, that's it. And I think it's important to have that time as well to rest and reflect and have that quality time when you're feeling fresh and your battery's recharged to think and get creative. And I feel like that's where the balance comes in. Then you have time to actually, then you come across a happy accidental riff or lyric that springs into your head or something like that.
Something I tend to struggle with whenever, so I'll work in the week, then I'll have days off, and I will just I'll be relaxing as I should, and recovering, recuperating. But like mentally, I'll beat myself up because I'm not getting stuff done creatively.
Oh, mate.
And it's such a funny one. It's like, what would be better for me is if I allowed myself the time to relax and then get to something creative when I can, or like allow some time for it. And that's something I've learned over the last couple of years. But until a certain point over the last year, whenever I had a day off, it would be like, if I'm not working on my songs, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, I think it's an easy kind of rut to get into for sure. But I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is not to beat yourself up about it. There's no right or wrong. The people who work in different ways, and they might be so in their head about music and it's just music that they forget to eat well, or they don't get any exercise, or they don't relax, meditate, whatever, and it's just like their brain is on 100% all the time, and I feel like that's not healthy. And I mean, if it works for them, that's great, and churn out music, then that's fantastic. But I think, the most important thing is to not beat yourself up, and if you want to just have a chill, play some video games, listen to some music,
watch some TV,
read a book, whatever, and then that's fine.
And it helps with the creative flow. You're relaxed, you're in a good place.